Is 1,309 days. And let me see if we are on Facebook. And we are, following very carefully everything happening in the Walmart case. And of course, thank you so much to Team Find Richard Halliday for giving us notice this week that that would be in the court, um, because of course we're following it, and we'd like to comment on our first I guess take on what transpired today in court. And of course it was the Patrick Crucius case, the August 3rd, 2019 Walmart mass shooting. But as you know, uh, the people that are involved in that case, are involved in Richard's case. The same suspects are in both cases. They're in the files. It's very clear. It is so clear. And if Team Find Richard Halliday, with the very few resources that we have, can figure that out, can do these background checks, can now, I don't want to say that we have few resources. I really should back up a little bit. I really should back up a little bit. Team Find Richard Halliday is much bigger than what people think. Team Find Richard Halliday is all over the world. Team Find Richard Halliday absolutely is in the government. We're that kind of family. Um, Team Find Richard Halliday is in El Paso. Um, Absolutely. We, have experience now, over 3 years, 3.5 years. We're learning more and more who's who and everything. And of course, with the 800 pages that we're working very hard to go through to submit information on, um, that has revealed a lot of information. And we're like, I guess we're like Superman. We can kind of see through redactions now because of our contacts, our team friend Richard Halliday, and our experiences, our own personal experiences too. So, so let's give the take on what transpired in the court today. The one thing that is very, very notable is that Bill Hicks went in the media the last months, especially since Loretta Lynn Hewitt gave her resignation. And let's backpedal a little bit. One thing that is very, very clear is that the Walmart mass shooting is being capitalized upon. It is very lucrative to these lawyers, very lucrative. They have, just think, Bill Hicks alone, about 50, which is odd because he was supposed to have like 100, like Jaime Esparza, but he has 50 staff, right? And these staff, from our Team Find Richard Halliday information, are not as seasoned as they used to be. These are, there doesn't seem to be lawyers that really want to work for Bill Hicks. And so these are fresh, new lawyers coming out, needing a job. And, they need a job. They have big law school bills to pay, right? So they need a job. And this case, the combination, because remember, this is a dual case. This is their interconnected, the Walmart mass shooting and Richard Halliday's case is so lucrative that they rather commit crimes in the government by keeping open records from us, the accounting from us, because they have spent millions upon millions of dollars in this. 50 people in the staff just in the district attorney's office alone. And that's not for this whole 5-year period, right? Uh, this that's a lot of money having to be spent day in and day out. They are absolutely squeezing El Pasoans, absolutely, to conduct this case. And so I think that is very important to understand. Another thing that is very important to understand, and I hope that you really share this live stream, I'll try to not be so long today, is that the narrative, the vile and vulgar racist narrative, was continued in the court, and that is a false narrative. They are, you know, they're still trying to maintain the false narrative. And we are just so sick of it, because this is so destructive to our country, to El Paso, to the people there. One thing I can tell you about the United States after traveling and living abroad so much of my life is that the United States is a melting pot, and we're the most tolerant of each other. And to always hound on this racist narrative, it tells you that they want us to be not America, right? They want us to have this divide. They want to polarize us because we're strong as a melting pot, right? So they really just hound on it and hound on it. And I absolutely stand firmly and would swear on the Bible that this was not a racist hit. This is not a white supremacist hit. This is not a lone wolf hit, okay? And any simple investigative work into Ernest Christopher Grant, into Donna Sifford, into Sylvia Saucedo, into the police officer, into Nieto. Nieto is compromised, okay? He has conflicts of interest, right? So and I don't want to get into all of that. I just want to tell you that our investigation was absolutely debunked that whole narrative, okay? And that they are continuing that even to this day, this divisive, polarizing, absolutely disgusting, vile narrative tells you a little bit about these lawyers, okay? It tells you that this is a political case, that they're playing politics with our lives, with our children's lives, with our military, with our community. Absolutely. They are politicizing it. They are capitalizing it. And it's not just me saying so. I've written down people that have said so. Even someone that I feel like targeted our family, worked against Richard, and is suspects in our son's disappearance. and that is Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia. She also said that they are uh, mis tampering, or they're messing with the case. They're messing with the case. Okay? So even a person like that is saying that they are messing with the case. Yvonne Rosales, she was being kept from the case. Now, who was over the case all this time with Jaime Esparza? You know, the judge talked about, this changeover, right? From Jaime Esparza to Yvonne Rosales to Bill Hicks. But wait a minute. That that narrative is also a false witness testimony, because there was a person over that case, and that person was John Briggs. Okay, so everyone needs to know that under Jaime Esparza, under Yvonne Rosales, and under Bill Hicks, the person over these cases, this case, one big case, connected together, the Walmart case and Richard's case, is John Briggs, attorney John Briggs. Okay? And his track record is horrible. And so if Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia says that John Briggs is messing with the case, not doing his job on it, and then you have Yvonne Rosales saying, well, let's leave her to the end. You have Scott Ferguson, the attorney that is John Briggs's boss, is saying that John Briggs is messing with the case. And when I'm saying messing, it's tampering, it's hiding, it's deleting evidence files, not sorting them right, this is what they're saying. This is not what I'm saying. Keeping people from investigating in it, keeping people from putting those pieces together to see the whole picture of what happened. John Briggs was doing that. Okay, so you have Scott Ferguson saying that. You have Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia. This is kind of like a bingo game, right? And also George Alahana. George Alahana even said they're hiding things. They're hiding things. Okay? So that is 3 people right there. And of course, you have the accusations from today, from the defense attorney today, saying, what are they hiding? What are they keeping from the court? And right after saying that items are being deleted, files are being deleted and hidden from this court, right? So what are they hiding? What are they keeping from this court, right? What do they not want to know? And remember, the Walmart case is intertwined with Richard's case. They're interconnected and, the same people. So you have the defense attorney from today. You have George Alahana. You have Scott Ferguson, who's the boss of John Briggs. And they're all pointing their finger at John Briggs and saying, what are you hiding? And then, of course, you have Loretta Lynn Hewitt, who resigned because she's saying they are politicizing. They are politicizing this case. They are hiding information. They're not letting me see the information. It's left in pieces. It's left in pieces. They're leaving these cases in pieces. And so, okay, so let's go over that again. Loretta Lynn Hewitt, George Alejandra, Scott Ferguson, Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, and then, of course, the defense attorney. And so this is not me saying it. This is multiple people saying that this case is being botched. And, of course, Yvonne Rosales. And Yvonne Rosales saying that this case is being kept from her. Okay? If you're the DA, how can a case be kept from you? How can John Briggs, what does he have that he has control over Yvonne Rosales? Okay? This is, he's just in there, in my estimation, being the mother of Richard Halliday and having a lot of invested interest in these cases because I want to know where my son is. Why does John Briggs have so much power? Because when he was fired by Yvonne Rosales for, not letting her into that case, 2 days after that, with the help of Bill Hicks, with the help of Bob Moore of El Paso Matters, with the help Justin Underwood, which is the attorney for Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, they submitted a petition to get rid of Yvonne Rosales. And Yvonne Rosales was incapable. She was unable to stick up for herself. Why? You have to ask that question. What does, to this day, John Briggs have over Yvonne Rosales that she is made incapable and unable to rally for herself and rally for these cases, even though she says it publicly that he was botching the cases. Okay, so Scott Ferguson, his boss, is saying that John Briggs is botching the cases. You have Loretta Lynn Hewitt saying that they're botching these cases and politicizing them. And you have George Alejandra saying, when he was also an assistant district attorney there, saying that he's botching the cases. And Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia is saying that. And Yvonne Rosales is saying that. And the defense attorney today was saying that. Yet, with all the talk that Bill Hicks was going to be first chair, he wasn't. And John Briggs was nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. This is very interesting. Why wasn't John Briggs there? And why wasn't Bill Hicks sitting in first chair? And, I don't know. Say a prayer. I think it might be a blessing because we have been working so hard to expose this, to break this open for the public to see. One, because an injustice has been done. Murderers are walking the street. The murderers of the people of their community that were killed that day are walking the street. An injustice has been done, I believe, to Patrick Crucius. 90 life sentences back to back with severe mental health disorder. uh, being, you know, being called things that he absolutely denies, that he is a white supremacist. Um, and I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm not saying that he's innocent, but there is an injustice going on there. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That this, you know, they used him. That there's more to this. He was not lone wolf. There are accomplices. We need to know who the accomplices are. Are they hiding the accomplices? Who are the accomplices? And because he had clean white sole shoes on when he surrendered himself. He surrendered himself to a Hispanic police officer right after a raging, that they say, no, no, that it just doesn't make it, y'all, it didn't happen. You can't do that. It's impossible to have clean pants, clean everything. The witnesses saying they're all in black and they have masks on, and then you have Glendon Oakley Jr. Mall cops with M4s, and then now we have the tip that there were brown tip bullets at the scene, which are unregistered bullets. And we have a weapon smuggling problem. We have a bullet ammunition smuggling problem. And so who's in charge of this case? uh, John Briggs. Who's focusing on this case? John Briggs and also the defense team. The district attorney's office. Also, when you play politics, whoever has invested interest in the politics, like the bond being passed, that's a load of money. I mean, you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's not including the millions of dollars that taxpayers have had to spend on these 5 years of nothing, nothing. Because, so the takeaway from today, John Briggs wasn't there. Bill Hicks wasn't in the first chair. And the defense attorney was blaming Bill Hicks, well, the district attorney's office, for wanting to hide evidence in the case, hiding evidence and deleting evidence in the case. This is really, really huge. This is my takeaway. So please, this is big. And then, um, to try to pour some syrup over it. And if that doesn't work, let's pour some honey over it. And um, yeah, it's like uh, no judge. This is John Briggs, John Briggs, John Briggs, not Jaime Esparza, Yvonne Rosales, and Bill Hicks. It's just John Briggs, okay? And he knows it. And so I think all eyes need to be on John Briggs, but yet he did not make himself available. He wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. And I think that is very, very telling. Very telling. Who sat first chair? Rebecca Tarongo, I think that's her name. She was the lead chair today. And yeah, John Briggs wasn't in the room. Maybe he was there, but not in the room. I think that is really um, indicative that we're right. That Team Fine Richard Halliday is right. That they are playing politics. That this is a gravy train and a gravy train. And did I say it's a gravy train? It's a gravy train of millions and millions of dollars. And guess what? Another thing, they don't have a date. They couldn't set a date for anything today, much, and not even for a court hearing. Nothing. They did not set a date. It's delay, 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 delay. And all of these attorneys um, playing politics. That's what they're doing because they're all on the same team. Even though you had the defense attorney pointing fingers at Bill Hicks, they're on the same team. You know, it's very clear. And it was just a fiasco. It really was a fiasco. And, for millions of dollars, that's what it buys us, a fiasco, more delay, more delay. And ask yourself, what does John Briggs hold over Yvonne Rosales? What power does he have over her? Because she fired him. And yet she was so helpless to defend her actions, to justify what she was doing, justify her actions in her district attorney's office. And I'm not saying that it was perfect. Of course, it's not perfect. But, she trimmed it down to 50 attorneys, around 50 attorneys, and everybody was like, and this is during the COVID, the height of the COVID pandemic. Well, we don't have the height of, and I don't even like to say pandemic because it wasn't a pandemic, y'all. It was, it was a farce. It was a total farce. And so, I'm not going to try to forward a false narrative. I'm going to try to be as genuine with everything that I have in me, to be as genuine as I can and tell you that, that was just a farce. But what was real about that was the law enforcement mandates, these mandates that were put upon us, and so destructive. I call them crimes against humanity, right? Crimes against humanity. So this is what Yvonne Rosales had to work under, but we don't have that anymore. And Bill Hicks, and the thing with Yvonne Rosales, because of Team Fine Richard Halliday on good authority, she had seasoned lawyers. So 50 seasoned lawyers is different than 50 green behind the ear lawyers, okay? And this is what Bill Hicks has. He has very green, very new lawyers. And so he only has 50 right now, around 50. So, and so where is all the, scrutiny and everything like that? And let me tell you, Bill Hicks needs a lot of scrutiny. Um, so, yeah, it's just such a double standard. It really is. But absolutely, there's more um, to the story because John Briggs has some kind of leash, some kind of hold, some kind of strings on Yvonne Rosales. And so, we, I'm not going to lie to you, we definitely have an idea of what it is. And we are in the process of confirming that. When that is confirmed, we will make the announcement. So stay tuned on that because that's very, very important because it will, we're just like, why? How did this happen? Why can't they, investigate Richard's case? It's, um, so that is very, very important to know what are the holds on people, how are people being controlled, what are the strings that are being pulled that is allowing for such injustice to go on and costing the taxpayers millions of dollars. So that's really important. So thank you so much, everyone. Francis Valencia, I think you should watch The Last Narc. What you all are doing through sounds so much like what I watched. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that. I don't know about it. Um, I just know that these two cases had the same suspects, and a huge injustice is being done to the people of El Paso when it comes to the August 3rd, 2019 Walmart mass shooting case. Huge injustice, so much money, and with those that just want a gravy train so that they can be in their offices and do whatnot, because they're not, if they are tampering with files, if they are hiding files, if they are deleting files, if they are, and not bringing any, these huge cases to trial, then, why are we giving them all that money, right? Why are we, and I say we, um, I know I don't live in El Paso, but this is happening all over the United States, and you see that in Fulton County um, District Attorney's Office, and so this is a systemic problem. This is an American problem, and we absolutely need to address it. And this is how, one way where we can get answers about what happened to our son is to demand uh, that they do their jobs, right? That they absolutely do their jobs. It's the least we can expect for all the milking, for all the squeezing that they do of us to maintain their gravy train. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I, yeah, I will be back tomorrow, God willing. I don't want to make this too long because I want everyone to share this. It's so important because of the vile and vulgar false narrative that even to this day the court is perpetuating. And absolutely, Ernest Christopher Grant was not a reliable source. Donna Sifford is not a reliable source. So many of the witnesses there, um, you know, eh, yeah, the truth needs to come out. And this was not a racist hit. This was a political hit. This was for hundreds of millions of dollars. This was a political hit against MAGA, absolutely, because really MAGA had nothing to do with this. And there's more to it, y'all. There's more to it. This was an orchestrated. That means they thought about this, okay? Um, this was an orchestrated crime. And think about that. And as we get confirmations on what we know, we will share that with you. But this was an orchestrated hit. And, they just wanted to accomplish more than one goal. That's what it was. So thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.